I feel like in life, you truly only have two choices of how you want to go about things. And it can be broken down in so many ways, but the way that I like to break it down is you can either go through life undergoing these two pains that I want to talk about, which is the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. And people don't know what that means, but a great entrepreneur, Jim Rohn, created that saying because he went through his entire life going through discipline, going through hardship, and realizing that if he wasn't doing that, instead he would go through life with regret, thinking that, oh, I wish I would have done this at a younger age. I wish I would have got the physique of my dreams at a younger age. I wish I would have took some more risks when I was younger and had less responsibilities. So I feel like in life, no matter what, you're going to suffer from those two pains. It's either you take the risk, you jump inside the life that you truly want, you start learning from people that actually have what you desire and start implementing on top of that, or 10 years later, 10 years down the road, you can start regretting it, thinking, man, if only I would have done this. If only I would have done that. You know, if I'm thinking back to myself 3 years ago, I was regretting everything. I was like, man, I want to start creating content. Man, I want to start working on some type of business. You know, I had probably about 3 failed businesses at that age. And I was like, man, why can't I just stick to something, undergo like a year of hard work and pain and actually stick to it? But instead, after like 2 months, after like 3 months, I would completely give up. And I didn't know why I was stuck in this loop, you know? I felt like I was working towards something. It's like when you work on a new physique for a couple months, you're like, okay, I'm working towards it. But then you fall off. Life gets busy. You get distracted. You get a new fiance. You get a new girlfriend. You get something inside your life to pull you away from everything. And it's like you can either learn from the pain of discipline or you can learn from the pain of regret. If you learn from the pain of discipline, though, I guarantee you the cost is so much more cheaper. It's like pennies compared to regretting something for an entire lifetime. You know, if I would have never started putting down the camera, making YouTube videos, and then like a year ahead, I'm just like, man, I wish I would have started doing that. I wish I would have started doing this. I would regret that my entire life. But the fact that I put down the camera, if you look at my first couple of videos, they're horrible. I'm not even gonna lie. But the fact that I went through those pains, they feel like pennies now. It feels like they were just stepping stones that I had to go across to get the desires that I want. You know, if you don't take pain of discipline, you will be left with the pain of regret. Life will make you feel like if you didn't take this action now, you're going to regret it the entire life. There's people, and you can speak to older people, that still have regrets in life, no matter what it is. And the last thing, and the most important thing that you should be doing is trying to mitigate the amount of regrets in your life. Take the risk that you have. Take the risk on your business. Take the risk on your sales skill. Take the risk on some type of lifestyle that you want. Take the risk on having the physique of your dreams and actually putting away these short-term dopamines and focusing on long-term dopamine. Because what's going to matter now? The hard work that you put in or the lifestyle that the hard work puts in 10 years, you know? Would you rather go out every weekend and in 10 years you're the exact same person? Or would you rather sacrifice a couple of those weekends for long-term discipline to where you're going to the gym, you're working on a business, you're putting yourself at a computer and just working your ass off? And in 10 years, in another year maybe, you know, you have a much better life because you put in the work, you put in the consistency, and you realize, I don't want to regret life in the future. Instead, I'd rather go through the pain of discipline now and enjoy life much further on. Life is truly what you make of it. So if you consistently just push things back, you're going to realize that you're falling into that second category. And that second category costs so much more in life because discipline is something that happens for a couple minutes, couple hours each day. Regret can last an entire lifetime. Would you rather want to regret for an entire lifetime or just go through a couple minutes or hours of pain each and every day? And it's not even pain sometimes. It's just uncomfortability. Do you want to go through uncomfortability or do you want to stick in that same box that you are in and then in 10 years wish that you would have done that? You know, you're going to pay the cost of one of them. I'm just helping you guide yourself along as if this was me 3 years ago and I needed to jump on the gun because you're going to pay. It doesn't matter. There's going to be a tax. It's like when you go to heaven, you know, he's going to ask you that question. You know, you have to go through one of these sides in life. So which one are you going to decide? You know, I wish, again, this is going to be a regret for me. I wish I started 5 years ago. I wish I started so much, in a quicker time frame than I actually did. But the fact is, I actually took my risk on myself while I know so many other people don't. And so I don't really regret it. I know I'm on my own path. But the fact is like, you're gonna regret things. So why not try to mitigate the amount of regret by going through uncomfortability and going through discipline in life? Jim Rohn, he's the one that created this quote, which is, in life, you're gonna go through, here, let me actually just pull up the quote for you guys. It was, we must all suffer from one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And this is someone that's gone through, 50 to 70 years of strict advice, learning from mentors, learning from people above them, becoming successful in an entrepreneurship journey. So I can tell you, if you start learning from these people that are above you, that are in an area that you want to be, you will become successful. But if you sit there and just regret, oh, I didn't take action now, I'll take action in a year, I'll take action in 5 years, it's going to be the worst thing for you. The cheesy cliche quote is, you should have started 2 years ago, but at least the second best time to start is today. If you're watching this video, that just shows that at least you have a grip on reality and you're like, man, I want to know what type of pain I'm going to be going through in life. And it's either going to be the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And you're going to have to choose one of those two. And if you don't choose one of them, I can guarantee you will be chosen one. The world is going to give you one. It's going to be the pain of regret. And in that case, you're going to be paying so much more in life because your entire rest of your life, it's not always, it may just be a year, but for a lot of people, it's their entire life that they regret. I've talked to people that are in their 50s and their 70s, and they still regret things that they didn't do when they were 20 or 30. They still regret not making the sacrifices in life to become the person that they needed to be, and now they're paying the price. Are you going to rather play video games, go out and party on weekends, continue to vape, continue to smoke, instead of cutting that out, realizing that you have so much more to offer to the world? The world is so much brighter. Like, what are you truly going to do? I promise you, one's going to kill you and one's going to build you. If you choose to let regret take over your life, it will kill you. It'll kill every ambition that you have. So instead, focus on the discipline, the one that actually will build the future that you want in life. It may take a couple hard hours. It may take a waking up at 5 a.m. like I do, which is pretty shitty. If you follow my Instagram on AEG Aesthetics, I just had a brain fart, but if you follow my Instagram, you can see that I wake up early every single morning, and it's not the most fun thing, but I know the discipline that I'm putting in is going to pay off, and the person that I want to become in 3 to 5 years is looking back on me, knowing exactly why I'm doing these things. And I always say, the mornings build you. When I used to, probably 3 years ago, I used to wake up super late. I used to party on the weekends. I used to get home, maybe eat a meal, maybe hit a workout, play video games until I was super late, maybe did a little bit of college work, and that was it. I wasn't outgoing. I wasn't, doing too much with my sales skill. I wasn't improving every single day. And so over a 2 to 3 year period, I was the exact same person that I was before. And the worst thing that you can do is look at yourself a year ago and think, man, I'm that same exact person. Because there is so much time in a 3-month or a 6-month time frame where you can truly level up your personality, your experiences, your lifestyle, your physique, anything. It's so much time, and people take that for granted. I've leveled up so much just in the past 2 months, and if I compare that to the past 6 months, I just keep leveling up because I undergo discipline, I undergo discomfort, I undergo all these things that I know are going to be pushing me as a person and the life that I want. The person looking down on me in the future is thankful for all the work and hard work that I put in, and that's why I make these videos, because it's just a thought on my mind. But I act like this is my diary, like I'm talking to my younger self, dude, I wish you were on shit. I have clients that are older than me, and they still want to hear this stuff because they don't have a grip on reality. It's another cliche quote, your second life opens up when you realize you have one. Once you realize that you only live one life and you need to become the best capable version of yourself, you need to see how much your body can withhold. You need to see how much your mind can withhold. You need to see how much is capable of you as a person. That's when your second life opens up. That's when you're going to realize these thoughts start coming to your brain. When you start pushing away this short-term dopamine, instead looking for long-term gratification. When you do that, your second life will expand. And you'll realize that's when I'm focused on the pain of discipline rather than the pain of regret. So it's kind of like discomfort and comfort. Which one are you going to go through in life? And for me, I was having like an unrestricted time, which was my comfortability. I would, maybe wake up at this time sometimes. Maybe I'd go to bed sometimes at this time. Maybe I'd eat like 1 or 2 meals, and on the weekends I would go out. Maybe I wouldn't go out. Maybe I'd play video games. But it felt like I was unrestricted. It felt like, okay, I was too comfortable where I was at. And it was at a point where I really shaved off all my head. I dyed it blonde because I felt like I was too comfortable where I was at. I needed to push myself way harder. And so I did that. I did a strict routine. I started waking up at 5 a.m. I focused on 4 non-negotiables that can push the needle movers and push the goals that I've set for myself within that 6-month time frame. And I just keep expanding on that person that I look back on. And my future self, he's gonna be thinking of me proud. He's gonna be thinking like, damn, this dude's on top of his shit. And I can't wait to become that person in 5 years, because that dude's probably reaching heights that I haven't even imagined yet. But now it's like, it's all clicking. I'm finally realizing what I'm meant for, the work that I'm working towards, and the life that I'm designing, because I truly realize that I want the pain of discipline. I don't want the pain of regret. Looking back like, man, I wish I would have started this sooner. No, I started this now, and I'm waking up early, and I'm skipping times with my friend because I'm building this business. I still hang out with my friends. I still have fun. That's how I developed, a bunch of systems to manage life, like the 90-10 lifestyle. Work my ass off 90% of the time, which makes the 10% of my life more fulfilling when I go out and have free time. If I go to a rave, if I go out to a dinner, if I go out with some friends on a vacation or something, but I'm still working my ass off. Like, I have a vacation in a week. You guys will probably see the environment change for all the YouTube videos, but I'm still gonna work my ass off, because for the past 600 days, I have worked my fucking ass off every single day. And I do not wanna stop, because the person in the mirror, when I look back, knows that I am working towards something that only a small percentage of people do. The 1% of people. That is the lifestyle that I want. So I'm gonna continue working my ass off. Some of you guys are gonna continue just sitting back, scrolling on your phones, playing video games, wasting 3 to 5 hours a day, while I'm using that time to become the most advantageous version of myself. And that's all I'm working towards. When I go on this vacation, I need to work. I'm gonna be working at least a minimum of 4 to 8 hours each day, because I can't just let my brain off. Otherwise, I'm gonna be thinking I'm wasting so much time. If some of you guys know Alex Hormozi, I feel like I literally have the Alex Hormozi mindset, but still have, a lot more fun than he does, because he's just business, work. But I want a life that's more rewarding. And I promise you, I still go out with some of my old friends that, still party, still drink, still do all this other stuff, but I have so much more fun than them, because I've worked my ass off throughout the week. I've worked my ass off in the mornings, on the weekends, and then at the nighttime, if I go out, if I have fun, I'm truly realizing that fun is so much more enjoyable because of the week that I've destroyed previously. So if you're going through life and you're forcing yourself to go on weekends because that's the only thing to do and that's the only thing that's fun, you're going about it wrong. Instead, you're going to be looking at yourself in 10 years like, man, I really regret what I was doing when I was younger. Instead of going through the pain, the discipline of going through it hard now. So all I can say is, like, pick your pain. Which pain do you want? Do you want the pain of regret, or do you want the pain of discipline? Because I promise you, the pain of discipline is going to be so much cheaper in the long term, while the pain of regret can literally last you a lifetime. If you didn't hear me already, follow my Instagram at AEG Aesthetics. That's where I post my daily stories, my daily wins, everything that I do to stay on top of my game 24/7. So if you need motivation, that is the video, or that is the channel to actually find me at. These YouTube videos, I'm trying to pump out at least 3 a week for you guys, but I'm way more sociable on there every single day. And if you want to learn kind of a little bit about the blueprint, the dashboard, everything that I work with my clients to make sure that they can guarantee success in like half the time that I've did, because I've honestly had to break down everything, learn from 3 different mentors, implement, figure out what works, what doesn't work, learn what my clients that actually had success did, and make sure that all my other clients do that. So it's a lot, but DM me the word systems on Instagram and I can give you some information about that. But all I want you guys to know is pick your pain, the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. This has been Jonathan. Hope you guys found some value in this. I'll see you boys in the next video.